Hello, everyone. My name is Kayla Bonafetti. I'm so excited to join you today to talk a little bit more about spending time with our teens during the holiday season. I want to give you some practical tips and strategies to utilize and implement as we come up on our 2-week break. I am a full-time mental health licensed marriage and family therapist here at Shadow Hills High School. I work here full-time and I work to service both general education students and special education students on meeting their mental health needs. For a lot of the students, I provide both group counseling and individual counseling to meet their mental health needs. To jump into our time today, it's important to understand that for a lot of people, the holiday season is not actually as joyful as we think. For some, we look forward to the day, we're excited for all the festivities that may be commencing, but for other people, it could be a tremendous source of stress, and that may be endured by our children. The first and foremost, it's important to understand that there's a change in our child's routine. They're used to waking up, going to school, seeing their friends, and participating in extracurricular activities if they do so. And when the holiday season approaches, we do get 2 weeks off, and a lot of times those fun activities they participate in also take a pause for the season as well. And when there's a distance and change of routine from school, especially, that means our children may not be interacting with their friends and peers as often. They may be chatting with them over social media or text messaging or FaceTiming, but they aren't most likely getting that in person interaction with their friends like they're used to 5 days a week. So it's important to recognize that when we are distanced from friends, we may experience an increased sense of loneliness. And this can result in behaviors of isolation in rooms, spending more time on the phone, or engaging in online activities. But a big source of stress for teens and adults is family stress and conflict. We may have to go to an aunt's house or a grandmother's house or a family member's house who we aren't too keen of, or we didn't really want to be there. And that may be the sense for some of our children as well. It's important to recognize that because the holiday season may it require some planning and a lot of responsibility, maybe on parents, right? It can cause that stress on the child as well. And as a result, we may notice that our child is experiencing an increased amount of stress, anxiety, and depression. It may come out because we're feeling socially isolated, but also there's tremendous stress on us when it comes to joining with family members, if that's what we choose to do during the season. It's important to also understand the developmental stages that our child is at during this time in high school. This may help us better work with what we are presented with if we're getting some sort of resistance or anything of that nature during this holiday season. It's important to understand that our child is internally focused. They are most likely not thinking about how their behavior affects their parents or how other people are thinking, but they're more focused on themselves. Maybe it's how others are thinking of them, what do people think of me, or even, what are their needs, right? I want to hang out with a friend, so I want to do so, right? So the focus is internally. And also during this time period, teens are more interested and influenced by their peers. This means they want to spend more time with their friends. They're not really interested in their parents or their siblings at this age, and they're interested in socializing with other people. So during this time, we may realize that our friends maybe don't want to go to a family party or they'd rather hang out with friends, and that's because peers are more important in this stage of life. It's important as a parent to reflect on ourselves during this time, right? We were more interested in being with our friends and family. And so, as noted, we are probably going to spend less time with our parents and more time with our friends. So, for instance, if there's a holiday party and you feel comfortable having them invite a friend along, maybe we do so, right? To let them feel more comfortable, but also we have maybe an expectation that they need to participate in that family gathering. Our teens are also very expressive. They may be verbally expressive or physically express how they are doing and feeling. So, it's important to take note of that, honor and acknowledge what those feelings are. And then during this time in our teen years, this is where we notice mental health starts to develop and present itself. So please take note of also those depression and anxiety symptoms that may be presented during this time in your child's life, not only during the holiday season, but during this stage in their teen development. So, to get in some tips and tricks and strategies, I want to just go through this list and provide you with some support as you may be facing some challenges during the holiday season. The first is show an interest in your teens' likes. What is it that they're interested in? Maybe it's fashion or a video game or TikTok, right? Try to understand what that lingo is and start to utilize it within your day to day basis, right? Show a genuine interest. That's also important when we're involving ourselves in our kids' lives. Also, inquire about how they're thinking and feeling, right? See how they're doing. Check in with them, whether that's during dinner or you pop into their room or anything of that nature. Really understanding how they're doing and feeling. But also being respectful that they may not share everything and they're more inclined to tell their friends versus their parents how they're truly feeling. They also might share their opinions about maybe the holiday season and what they believe and what they would like to do. Please, it's important to respect their opinions, right? Validate what they're experiencing and honor what they're experiencing. And if we have an expectation for our child, it's important that we also model that expectation and positive behavior as well. So if we're asking our child to not be on their phone during the Christmas party, that we are also not on our phone during that Christmas party, right? Because if we're more likely as their parents to engage in this positive behavior, the more likely they are going to go ahead and implement that behavior as well. Because this time is very challenging and there are many concerns that may come up, honor and respect and acknowledge those challenges. Let them know, hey, I know it's really difficult not seeing your friends, right? Is there anything we can do, FaceTime, call, TikTok, that we can feel like we're joining that experience with them? Also make time to participate in their activities they enjoy. So whatever that is, whether it's sharing, reels on Instagram or TikToks that you both like, right? Finding something that you can participate and join them on. And then allow choices. There are of course, non-negotiables when it comes to the holidays. Maybe we have to go to a family member's house, but we can always allow for choices, right? Well, do you want to help me set up the tree in the morning or the evening? Do you want to help me cook or clean for the party? So allowing them to participate, right, especially if we have non-negotiables, but providing them a choice of what they would like. This allows your child to have a sense of freedom, but also making them feel competent that they have a choice to make and that it's valid. Furthermore, it's important to set clear expectations and verbalize them. So if we have a no phone policy, we need to express verbally or write them down what that policy is. If we have a policy that, hey, or we have an expectation that we want them to participate in at least one family gathering, right, making that clear to them. When we are communicating clear to our child, it allows them to provide feedback to us, but it makes them feel as if they're important in that decision. And with this, our child may get in the spirit very differently than we would, right? Maybe they don't want to decorate the house or do ornaments, but maybe they want to do something special in their room. Let your child get in the spirit on their own and in their own way. However that is, if they want to do a craft, if they want to, create a song, whatever it may be. Letting them get creative in their own way. Of course, ask for feedback. If there's something that they don't enjoy or like, let them share that with you. Also inquire about it. They may not be open to share what that feedback is until we actually ask. And the last thing that's really important, I want to really stress this part, is we are going to experience pushback and resistance. But how we respond as a parent to this pushback is incredibly important to our relationship with our child. So it's important to check in with ourselves as a parent, identify how we are feeling in that moment, and formulate a positive response. If we need to step away because we're feeling really heated and we're feeling as if we may respond in a negative connotation or way, you're welcome to do that as well. So I want to give you some tangible activities and things that you can utilize. The first thing is traditions. If we have holiday traditions, get your child participating in those, whether it's making tamales or decorating the tree or putting up decorations around the house, whatever it may be. Invite them into that conversation and tradition. And maybe there's a particular tradition they want to create, so let them do that. Also, family dinners, having everyone and inviting everyone within the home to have a dinner together. Maybe we have our children pick what we eat or where we eat if we have that availability. So finding a way to involve our children and involve the family as a whole. Then we can do some sort of movie night, so maybe a holiday movie night where our child gets to pick maybe the movie and the snacks. We can maybe go to the store and pick up something they really enjoy. And then even hosting their friends, because our teens are into their peers and they really enjoy their time with their friends. Host them, have them over. That could be really important to get to know the friends that our children are hanging out with, but also show that we are open to the idea and value that they have friendships. And to continue, just a few more activities. You can make ornaments or do some sort of gingerbread craft wars where you can build a gingerbread house or make some sort of decoration to have. So then every year you can have that decoration around the house. Teens are really into TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat, so get involved in those social medias. Maybe you're making a TikTok with them or knowing what the popular songs or trends are, right? That can be really important to join with your child. Having a family game night, right, where your child gets to pick the game or whatever they would like to do, or maybe there's a dinner that goes along with that. And then getting active. Because our weather is so nice during this type of year, going on a hike, a walk, or being out and about, whether that's walking around, a store or something of that nature. That can be really important to engage the entire family. So I hope you found those tips relatively helpful. Of course, if you have questions, you're welcome to reach out to myself here at Shadow Hills High School. But if you're also interested, like I mentioned in the beginning, to get your child set up for some sort of services, you can fill out the request for services via this QR code. And what we do as a team is the counseling team and myself review those, and we go over and we try to place in the appropriate setting. So you're more than welcome to reach out if you have any questions. It was so nice speaking with all of you, and hopefully I gave you some practical tips to utilize during this holiday season. Take care.